Morning. It is a Monday. It is August 25th. We've got monsoonal moisture in the area, certain around Lake Tahoe. Had a few fire starts from that. Some cool video, some of the fast forward videos showing Mount Shasta and down towards Mount Whitney, and sort of how these thunderstorms in Lake Tahoe, how these thunderstorms built up yesterday. If you were in the Lake Tahoe area yesterday, those were some pretty aggressive thunderstorms. There's a flood watch in effect for the Lake Tahoe area and parts of the Sierra Nevada. There's an extreme heat warning for parts of California. There is a red flag warning for parts of California. And just an interesting day overall. Hope you had a good weekend. God, fly by, right? Okay, so we start off with this. This is the visible satellite. I like this because it sort of sets the plate for, what's going to happen today. So first of all, there's all the fog contouring the coastline, Monterey Bay. See how quickly it burned back out of the Salinas Valley? That's pretty interesting. So the fog is going to burn back pretty quickly to the coast. Here's a copious amount of monsoonal moisture, right? You can see it moves freely over the topography. That's how you know it's not fog. Fog gets dammed and stuck in topographic features, with topographic features. You can see, what do you see? A little bit of smoke from the Garnet fire down here, a couple of fires. There were some fire starts over the last 24 hours. We are in our longest stretch of monsoonal moisture. This is the monsoonal moisture coming up. When I say longest stretch, we've had brushes with the North American monsoon this summer, but they haven't been long-lived. This is going on a couple of days, and it's going to last another couple of days as well. Certainly through today, big storms again forecast, and then again for tomorrow, lesser, and then again a little bit the last day. As this monsoonal moisture, it's just you can't even see it all really. It has to be. When in the morning it barely shows up, but when you can see it like you can see it now, this afternoon is going to go off. Also, look at the texture. There's already some thunder and lightning up here, up around Medford, Oregon. We can look at that as well. Down towards San Diego, nice weather down there. Catalina's got some fog. So yeah, interesting day. Let's start it off. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate you telling a friend. Subscribe, comment. I know you're supposed to say all that, right? But yeah, tell a friend. That's the best way to do it. Because I was gone for a couple of weeks, and I love getting the notes from you guys. Like I know a lot of you, right? It's weird because we've been doing this together trying to do it every day for coming up on a year now. So this is the Garnet fire. This is at 4,000 acres. This is watchduty.org. What can we learn about it? It's a good-sized fire. They got some rain. These thunderstorms weren't necessarily dry, so I've reported some heavy rain under these cells, and we'll see that coming up. Active fire perimeter map layer. Let's see if we got a picture of it. There's a picture of it from, I think this is from Delilah Lookout. This is 600 acres. This is when it first started. This was yesterday, and we'll take a quick look at that as well. Let's just do that right now. Let's go back here. I'm going to 24-hour loop this bad boy. I'm going to stop it down here. Okay, so this is out by the Garnet fire. Now, first thing I notice is, this is yesterday. Look at the smoke plume already. So there's a fire there, right? So it could have been from a lightning hit. There's enough convection in the area. There could have been a lightning hit earlier. I can't go past this 24-hour mark, but you've already got a fire, and then the real activity begins towards the afternoon. You see the cumulus clouds bubbling up, the sun heating the ground, the fire starting to go. Look at that. Boom, right? Within one frame. Isn't that awesome? So this is the Garnet fire, which is a good-sized fire now, but they got a bunch of rain on it. So there it goes, and you can see that smoke plume. By the way, a lot of times when you see, this is a very unstable atmosphere, but see that smoke going up? That's smoke particulate matter. And it gets up into that cloud, or the cloud gets a hold of it, and it creates an opportunity for moisture to condense or coalesce around the dust. And so you actually will enhance a thunderstorm. That's what you're kind of cloud seeding in a way. It's not, you're giving, cloud seeding is just giving the moisture something to grab onto. And this fire has given the moisture something to grab onto. This is yesterday afternoon, very dramatic. And then you'll see it and then here come the thunderstorms, right? And you're going to see I think we see some rain shafts here, which very, very helpful. And then it settles down, really settles down, doesn't it? In the evening, interesting, really settles down. And then we go overnight, you'll see them fighting the fire. So now you can see the fire clearly. You can see what they're working on. They're protecting the ridge lines, right? And they're not letting it, but they're controlling it into that valley. Pretty big oomph late in the evening. And then we push through to this morning. Interesting. God, I love these. These video cameras are amazing. And this was last night, Garnet fire. And here's this morning. And you can see the smoke plume much less pronounced. And then we stop it down. So fire's still burning. This is right now. This is the same look we had yesterday at this time. So certainly thunderstorms back in the offering. And they're not necessarily dry thunderstorms. There have been significant amount of rain with these in some cases. Not all, but some. 6,000 acres on the Picket Fire. Let's go see what we got here. See if we got a picture of it. Do we? Sometimes it's a potpourri on this right side. This is watchduty.org. Let's just call it 6,000 acres. It is pretty, it's not, there's some containment, but it's come down a lot. So if we go last 24 hours of the Picket Fire, let's see what we got here. You'll see the smoke. We're looking kind of towards the south and the east. And you see the evening. And then you see, I don't know, like the same thing, they just budge the camera. So not a lot of smoke. The fire is big, but it's partially contained, but they look like they have, based on this live picture, they look like they have a pretty good handle on it. Here are the smoke models. Here's the smoke from the Picket Fire. And you can see it is getting up into Ukiah. It's getting up out towards Pope Valley, but it's not... that dark orange is bad, but most of that dark orange black is kind of going towards areas that aren't quite as populated, although Middletown and Clear Lake, you guys definitely are noticing the smoke. And then down by the Garnet Fire down here, you can see the smoke coming up from those fires. So it looks like Bakersfield might have a little bit of smoke as well. So we'll go to purple air. Isn't that awesome, all the tools we have? I mean, what I like about this new internet world is, in the old days, I'd build a newscast plus I only had like 3.5 minutes, right? But here I'm going like 25, 30 minutes. But we'd build it, and by the time we got to air, a lot of the stuff was dated, right? And so this is morning. It'll be dated if you look at it tonight. But when I show you the models, they won't really much be dated. But the idea that you can adjust things kind of in real time, especially if there's an emergency or something. So, but it's such a better format. Like, I don't even know. It's amazing I could bridle myself in all those years in television. It really is. Because I just had so much to say, just like you do. Like, if I ask you, like, people go, I know a lot about weather. That's what I've been doing forever. But you know a lot about what you know a lot. Let's say you're a mountain biker, or a hiker, or a climber, or a skier. And I said, here, tell me all about today's ski runs that you had up at Palisades. And here you got 2.5 minutes. It's like, where do you go with that, right? But when but if I go, hey, talk for 25 minutes about what you experienced today up on the mountain, it's awesome, right? It's just it's so freeing. It really feels good. I don't know how I did television for all those years. I mean, they paid really well. I was sick. I was awesome. Plus, I had days off to surf. That's the origin of the gig. Because I was working in I'll go back to weather in a minute, but I was working in an environmental planning firm, and I 9 to 5, and I was looking at the TV guys going, oh man, I could do that. 3 minutes of knocking out some weather. So I focused my energies that way. And when I realized, oh my God, I have days off. So I got to surf like every day. So yeah, that's awesome. Oh, and also I did a little shark offering yesterday, or this morning, I guess it came out. But it's sort of, it was really fun. I just talked about my experiences over the years, and I didn't even get into like half my experiences. I kind of got off track and started going into red triangle stuff and whatever. I was kind of free balling. But give it a look. It's pretty interesting. And what's most interesting are the comments, because a lot of you guys are like, oh, dude, I got you there. And I heard, I was like, oh my God, my stories give me chills, my shark stories, but other people's shark stories, oh my God, read the comments. Okay, anyway, so here we are. The air quality looks pretty good, right? A little bit of air. This Bakersfield thing looks like it's a little bit down towards Fresno, West Slope. There's been a few fire starts because of the lightning last night, and there'll probably be a few more today. Here is Lake Tahoe. We're down towards Heavenly Valley. The camera's going to budge. Just as yesterday. Look at the buildup. Isn't that awesome? Boom, 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 boom. Big storms out there, big rain shafts, sunsets. And now we're going to come up on today. And today is going to look just like it did yesterday at Lake Tahoe. This is this morning, some low-level moisture. Where's the clouds? Isn't that interesting how they just produce? And a lot of times at Lake Tahoe, the thunderstorms are going to be on the ridge lines, right? Because the lake isn't that warm. That may blow over into the lake, but typically they're going to pop on the Sierra Nevada all the way around at the higher elevations because of the lifting, also because of the conduction or the convection created by the warming ground, right? Summer months, and you're already seeing vertical development in some of this looks like altostratus clouds. So we got that, and then we got now we're home. We're gonna go to our Mount Tamalpais camera. Fog. Marine layer is deeper. Marine layer is going a good, 1,700 feet right now. I think it's 1,800 feet. We'll look at the profile after this. This is this morning. You can see Montero Mountain a little better than yesterday. Another mild day. That's the weather pattern for us. Temperature in Redding today is going to be 105. Temperature in Sacramento, 97. Appropriate. 68 in San Francisco. San Jose, 80. Los Angeles, 84. San Diego, 67. That's a nice day. And that forecast profile, just roll it into the next few days. There's not much going to change. Here's the profiler. Let me see if I'll zoom it up a little bit so we can see if I can get this to go right. And we can see, I think you can see so it starts out here. This is yesterday. This is the inversion, the blue line. That's the depth, right? So it's a cross section. And look how it thickened out today. It's 1,700 feet, 1,600 feet, something like that. So yesterday warmer, today cooler. This is the Fort Ord profiler. It is not that close to us, but it's the best source for measuring. It's the easiest way. You can use the sounding too, but it's an easy way to visualize the marine depth. Okay, so there is this flood watch that stays in effect for Lake Tahoe. Let's see how long they put it up for. I think it's going to be through tonight, but maybe another day. Through August, until August 25th, 9 o'clock tonight. So that's a flood watch, and that could easily turn into a flood warning. That is an anticipation of these powerful storms. Now, why is this awesome? Because the light, right, you're not really going dry lightning. You're going, we got rain with these, right? And we did yesterday as well. So that's very fortunate. And there'll be some lightning hits. There's already lightning hits up around Medford, Oregon. Wairika, Mount Shasta, red flag warnings, and red flag warnings and heat advisories. And there's that rain up around Bend, Oregon. Already thunderstorms. If I put a loop on, this is radar scope, put a loop on it, and you'll see the little lightning. I think you'll see some lightning pops. There's one. Boom. Okay. So that's towards the north. Down towards the south, I'm going to put in these sites. I think this guy's got some rain. Come on. There it is, yeah. So look at that. So I'll put the cities in for you. So this is Current, Needles, Havasu. I mean, this is how juicy this subtropical moisture is. This is up by Furnace Creek. This is all moving north towards Lake Tahoe. And it's an incredible, that's a really aggressive pattern for, before lunchtime. So it means this afternoon is going to get pretty darn aggressive in those areas. We've got the temperature forecast for today. It's going to be nice. It's going to be a lot like yesterday. Buck 5, Buck 3 in Redding, 96, and got the dog. Hang on a second. Hey, you're a good girl. Oh, you're a good girl. Oh, you're a good girl. That's the Franny dog. Somebody came in, so I would normally try to cut that off, but it's like, you know what? It's part of the deal. Okay, 100 in Sonora, 97 in South Lake Tahoe. Really nice day today. Tomorrow will be very similar. Here is the HRRR rapid update model. And you can see go hour by hour, high resolution. Ooh, look at that. I mean, seriously, right? Holy smokes. That's it. That's, in a few hours. Look at that. Look at how much lightning potential there is from Mount Shasta all the way south to Phoenix and parts of out towards Palm Desert and out towards Joshua Tree. And then it dies down. That's the evening cool down. But there's some nocturnal stuff going on here. Look at that. Wow. Okay, that's some stuff. And then we're back into it again tomorrow afternoon. Wow. Okay, so this is, we're into it. That's why there's a flood watch. But again, we're fortunate there's a flood watch because that means it's not anticipated to be cloud to cloud or just not anticipated to be dry lightning. And there's a lot of moisture, and you can see the moisture. We just saw it. So that's going to be a story for sure tonight and tomorrow. So if something pops up, I'll try to jump in and pull up a live radar for you tonight. This is the North American model, and I just wanted to show you the temperature forecast. So this is tonight, this is tomorrow, this is this afternoon, pardon me. And you see that's the footprint. And so the purples are the areas to watch. That's where the real heat is, and that's today. So today's going to be like tomorrow. Watch what happens the next day. Look at the purple footprint. Same thing. And then the next day, even less, so a little cooler on Wednesday. And then a little about the same on Thursday. So this pattern, you see the pattern holds. That's what I wanted you to see was that footprint. This is, I believe that's Tropical Storm Juliet down here, if you can see it. That is potentially, I mean, you see how close it is. That's where all that moisture is coming from. Some of it, not from Juliet, but from all this subtropical activity. And remember I talked about that upper level high? That's what spins the subtropical moisture. That's what kind of fires off the North American monsoon. It starts, and I hope this makes sense. Let's see if I can do this. It starts the high pressures. This is a loft, right? So if I was to draw in the jet stream, I'd draw a ridge, trough, and then a ridge. So there's the high under here, and it's all rotating this way. Underneath that high, the reason the high forms pretty much every summer, late summer, is it gets so hot down there. Desert Southwest, and it maxes its heat out, and air starts to rise in large volume, and it creates a thermal low, just a low pressure, but it's thermal, meaning the air is rising, and as the air rises, it spreads out, and it creates a low pressure. It creates less pressure at the surface. But aloft, as that air goes up because it's rising, creating lower pressure, it creates a higher pressure aloft, and that higher pressure aloft is what triggers the North American monsoon. Come on, how awesome is that? I know. I love that. So that's what's happening aloft, but underneath, that's high, but underneath there's a thermal low down at the surface. Aha, the plot thickens. All right, thanks for bearing with me. It's so fun. I love this stuff. And then watches and warnings out west. This is a good day today for weather. You got the flood watches even down around the Palm Desert and Palm Springs. Heat warnings, heat advisories, red flag warnings. Most of this should be better tomorrow, but there's still going to be a continuance of the monsoonal flow. And then this is just showing current temperatures. I love this map because it just represents to me, this is how when I first started doing weather, these are the kind of maps we had. This was, well, we didn't have it this automated, but it's a surface map. And a surface map shows me right now let's go to Redding because they got a heat advisory up there. So Redding right here, and then a station will pop in pretty soon because it's a lot. There's a lot of data points here. So let's go to Anderson. Oh, ouch! 97 degrees. Listen, it's 11:30 in the morning, and it's 97 degrees in Anderson. We used to play football against Anderson, and we'd play football this time of year. And I can remember going down to Anderson and playing football in 95-degree weather. It was horrible. They were good too. It's funny, they didn't really show up in North Section in terms of wins and losses, but in terms of, they're one of our first games of the year. They throttled us. We were all really good. We always won section or North Section. We always did back when I was a kid. But they would it was preseason. They would cream us every time. I don't know what it was. But anyway, they had good football teams, at least for the first part of the year. 97 degrees in Fairfield, or 97 degrees in Redding. Overnight low was 78 degrees. Remember we talked about those overnight lows and how they equate to fire starts the next day. So above average temperatures, okay, I'll go with that. Okay, average or above average, below average in the east, and then these are the 6 to 10 day. This is precipitation outlook. Again, why do you show them, Bill? I just like it because it's like, especially in the winter. I think in the winter they're very useful. because they do a pretty good job picking up the extra tropical storms. The reason I show these two is because when we went through, this doesn't work today, but usually when I show you the vorticity model, the long range GFS, we can tie that to this. In other words, this usually mimics that forecast. So, and it kind of just a way to double check. This is the surf. We've finally gotten there. I don't know how much time I got left on my recording. There's San Francisco. This is swell. This isn't anything more, but you see the swell's starting to come more out of the northwest over the next few weeks. Is that as far as it's going to go? There it is. Yeah, hello. That's on September 1st. Look at that. Hello. That's a west swell. So these are wave heights. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this. And that's good though. So that's almost looking like a fall swell pattern, just meaning that the systems are lining up. The folks out at the beach, I mentioned that shark thing I did on YouTube yesterday or this morning. And oh God, some of the comments, man, makes me not want to surf. Like I've had some weird, I didn't even tell my experiences, truthfully. I've had a bunch of them, like encounters, but encounters aren't bites. Encounters are encounters. And you know how many people report encounters? I didn't. Most everybody I know that has an encounter just goes home and has a cup of coffee or a couple beers. Encounter is you saw one bumped you. A bite is when one bites you. And those are the ones that make headlines. What don't make headlines are the encounters. So check out that video if you can. I liked it, only because I have so many, thousands of years of being alive. I have so many shark stories, not all my own. I feel like I maybe 6, but in terms of knowing, the amount of people I know who surf over the years, especially during the height of the shark bites back in the 80s and 90s, there were a lot. That's when there was a spike. That's Cardiff Reef. This is, pardon me if the video shuts off. I don't know if it's going to or not, but I want to finish up. Here's yesterday, Mount Shasta. Boom, 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 right? Hello. It's going to do this again today. Wet, wet, wet. Awesome. Overnight, town, pretty lit up for overnight. And then we come into the morning hours this morning, and you're going to see that subtropical moisture. Are you? Just shows up. Just shows up. So it's out there. Yeah, beautiful shot. And then this is Whitney. Whitney, we might see something today, right? Because that we saw the showers. This is last night and yesterday. Very dry though, right? And then this is overnight. And then this is this morning. I love these cameras. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Building up. Oh, it's going to be a stormy day in Bishop. And then, my boys are back. Kind of stoked about this, jellyfish. They went away for a while. Question to you, is that how they roll, upside down? Like in SpongeBob, they're always kind of going the other way, right? The jellyfish, the tentacles are down, but I think this is how they sit. Somebody knows, and you need to tell me if you know. This is the puffins. I didn't curate this very well. The swell's still up, see how the camera's wet? That's why the puffins aren't there. They're out at sea, which is where they spend most of their time. Had a good shot here. This was the Farallon Island camera. Earlier it showed the crane that I've actually been on that takes you in from because you can't, there's no boat dock out there. There's a crane that lifts you up off your boat, which when you're out in the bay. It's a funny little cove and very sharky. I've heard some stories about that. And then these are the bears. And I guess the sheer joy in watching them eat. The fish have slowed down quite a bit. And the bears are just feasting. This one guy in the middle, I feel like he was there yesterday. Okay, so we talked about a lot. It's going to be an awesome week ahead. Certainly tomorrow and tonight and tomorrow, thunderstorms are going to be a thing. I mentioned yesterday my father passed at 98 years old. I will talk about that at some point. I'm not really in a space to talk about it now. I'm fine, because what a run, right? But I just kind of got to, you know how it is, right? You've been there. And he would love this stuff. He was an awesome dude. That's why I like the outdoors so much. He was like awesome dude, really. Kind of a funny dad, World War II dad, but an awesome dude. So I kind of I thank him for all the things I am. Interesting. Big fat bears. Oh, big fish. Okay. All right, we're good. I'll see you back here.